welcome to the Echo Tips Podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about what I believe is a brand new feature. I could be wrong, but I believe it's brand new and not even really up and documented much on the website yet from Amazon. And that is the ability to get your Amazon Echo reminders via text message or SMS here in the United States. So we're going to take a look at that brand new, what I believe is a brand new feature. But before we get into that in any sort of detail, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Hello, welcome again to the Echo Tips Podcast. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about text message reminders that you can receive from your Amazon Echo. So just not typical reminders that go ding ding, reminder, do this, take the turkey out of the oven, whatever, but how you can even get that same reminder via text message on your phone. But before I delve into that, I'd like to welcome our new listeners. Welcome, new listeners, to the podcast. My name is David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program, and I'd like to welcome you. You'll find that our episodes are weekly episodes, generally released on Wednesday of every week, and they're little nuggetized episodes. We try to keep them somewhere to 5 to 15 minutes long, where we document brand new things on the Echo, and sometimes new equipment, new hardware, and sometimes we go back and dust off the old goodies as well. And because of your new listeners and returning listeners, we're about to break 100,000 episodes to the podcast. So, all right, so let's delve right into this. And I ran across this, and by the way, if I sound a little congested, it's allergy season here, and I'm heavily medicated, so I apologize for that. But I'd like to tell you how I ran across this and was completely incidental. I was at home asking my Echo to set a reminder, and she came back and asked me, hey, would you like to get a text message to tell you that reminder went off? And this was brand new, so I said yes. And since then, I've been getting these reminders on my phone. And so when my phone, my Echo dings, just in a matter of seconds, I will usually get a corresponding ding on my phone. So let me first demonstrate it, and then I'll tell you how you can turn the feature on in your A-Lady app on your smartphone or tablet. So first, let me demonstrate it. If you do have an Echo in hearing distance of me, you might want to mute its ears. That way I'm not tripping up your Echo at home. Okay? Give you a second to do that. All right. So let's delve into the deep end of the pond. This should be pretty simple. Alexa, create a reminder called Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
When should I remind you?
10 seconds.
Okay, I'll remind you in 10 seconds.
Okay, so now I could have said any day of the week or time or a date, and you can even create repeating reminders. We've covered this in Season 1. I use reminders all the time. But boom, there you heard it on my telephone, a little jingle, and that was the text message on my phone going off. And in fact, let's ask my phone here. Read my last text message.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Okay.
You have recent messages from 58875. 58875 said reminder from Alexa. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There you go. So let me shut my phone off there. Okay, so it is just that easy to get that text message on your phone. Now, I'm not too sure, a little goofiness here, my Echo, why it didn't also verbally say it here at the same time. That's a little peculiar. It generally will do that as well. It could be that I have it set to Do Not Disturb or something. But generally, it will go ding ding. And you can, and of course now with the text message enabling, you'll get it no matter where you're at. Okay, so a first few breakdowns and things I want to mention. How do you enable this feature? Well, you would open your A-Lady app, and in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll hit the More button, and I think it's got 3 dots on it. And then that will slide out a menu, and you're going to tap on Settings. And this is what we would call a global setting, so it applies to all Echoes on your account. And you're going to go scrolling down the menu, which has got a lot longer over time, and you're going to search for Reminders. It's going to be way down the list near Calendars and the like. You're going to tap on Reminders. Now, on the very next page, you're going to have a toggle at the top that allows you to get notifications on your phone. Now, traditionally, my phone would have dinged when I got a notification through the app that I had a reminder. So it was a little overwhelming. I'd get a ding, 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 and then I also get a text message ding at the same time. So really, you had the ability to get that all along, but now you can also, down below that setting, it has an option to enable text messaging reminders. Okay, now if you scroll down through the rest of that page, we have a few other things we've discussed in past episodes. The ability for a reminder to go off 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You might even be able to set it almost to go off for a long time until you stop it. So you have some versatility in the way that you configure the reminders to go off audibly on your Echo. But of course, this is the ability, so you're not in the room, maybe you're out on the road, you can get that notification via text message. Now, like I said, you could typically just get a typical notification. So what does this really bring to the fore for you? Well, I'm not entirely sure. I think the advantage is that text messagings are a little more universal, and that I burrowed into the settings. There's no real way to change this type of ding that I could find with a typical notification, at least on an iPhone. It may be more versatile on an Android phone, but I get that same kind of typical chime on my iPhone. While if it's a text message, the text message will generally come in from the same short code. That's what we call it here in the United States. It might be like a 5, or I should know how many digits it is, a 5 or 6 digit number. And I could probably assign a custom ringtone to that. So that might be a way to get kind of a different clarity that a notification went off on my phone that was connected with my account. And I believe even on an iPhone under Shortcuts app, I could probably filter messages to assign some sort of other notification or trigger an event, or even an audible tone of a different type connected, kind of like an extra filter for incoming text messages. That's highly advanced, and I don't think your typical person's going to be doing that. But I do routinely set custom ringtones to different types of text messages, like my bank sounds like a cash register. It used to be that when I got an Instacart or something, I think it was like a chicken or something crowing, or it sounded like a farm animals or something. I don't know. But anyway, you get the idea how you could do that. Now, like I said, you probably don't want to have both of those turned on, or you may just like to use the traditional notifications, which is fine. But this is kind of an extra layer, an extra feature that you may enjoy. And anywho, so that will bring this episode to a close. Like I said, there's not really much documentation up on the website about this. The only thing I could find about it was under terms of service and things like that. The typical caveats always apply. There may be text messaging fees. Most people have unlimited text messaging, though, so it's probably not an issue. Oh, I will mention, however, though, when you get the text message the first time, it does tell you that you can always reply to the text stop to stop the service, or you can type in help, and that will give you a little added information. Most likely it will just tell you to go where I stipulated in the app before. Okay, well, that will bring this episode to a close. Hey, a real quick post-production note here. I feel completely brain dead forgetting about this. This is a unique feature in that you don't necessarily have to have a smartphone anymore to get those reminders on your phone. So if maybe you were serving in a caregiver situation, maybe with an elderly family member that just had a standard flip phone or jitterbug or something like that, you could actually go in there and you can assign a phone number to them, that they'll get those notifications on their phone, even though it's not a smartphone. So it might be great for medication reminders and different things like that. So you can kind of go hog wild thinking about how that might be extra beneficial, but it kind of broadens the scope that a smartphone is no longer required. Okay, let's go back to the end of the show. We appreciate your listenership. If you'd like to reach out to us with any thoughts or suggestions, you can do so on Facebook or Twitter at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys. Well, until next time, it's time to turn the ears on your Echo back on, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. Let me tell you a bit more. Let me put on my official sounding voice. Ahem, ahem. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Phew! Thanks for listening.